Oh, let's go. Episode 182 of Weighing In with Travis Hartman. I am B Money, the producer. That over there is the talent, Weekend Trav, a.k.a. Travis Hartman. Big time today, Weekend Trav, because we have one bronze medalist for the USA national team at the Olympics. OMARI Jones joining us here a little bit later on the show. We look forward to that interview. You're going to have a sit-down session with him, and we'll also go YouTube Live on that thing. If you're watching this already, it's already happened.
Yeah.
So hopefully you tuned in on that live, but we're going to have that on the episode here very shortly. But before we get to OMARI Jones, Weekend Trav, let's talk about the action that we had all this past weekend. Two guests on the show the past 2 weekends, both in action Friday and Saturday.
Yes, sir.
So let's toss it up to you. Let's talk Friday first. We'll talk Saturday, and then we'll get to OMARI Jones. How's that sound?
It's awesome. I mean, Friday night was amazing. And Friday night, Corey Too Smooth Marksman, who was sitting right here in this very seat with the podcast with us. But Friday night on DAZN, Corey Marksman was the co-main event. And I want to talk about the main event briefly, too, after I talk about Corey.
Sure.
Corey fought an undefeated guy, 10-0. Corey was also 10-0. Corey looked phenomenal. I feel like he won every single round, too.
And let's keep in mind, that was here at the Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida. We are at the Stadium Club at the Caribe Royale in Orlando. Corey fought just across the parking lot there in their convention hall. So he fought. We've been to many shows there, Box Lab, DAZN. Who else?
Most Valuable
MVP
Prospects. That was a Jake Paul card.
Yeah. So anyways, not to disrupt you, but we want to make sure we give props where props are due. We are here live at the Stadium Club in Orlando, Florida, which is part of the Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida, which is exactly where Corey Marksman did fight this past Friday. Go.
Corey did phenomenal. What I'm trying to look at on my phone, too, yeah, I think I found it. So Corey won by 7th round knockout. Dominated the entire fight, was having fun out there, and he fought a very game opponent. The fact that he stopped him was very impressive. Corey might have emerged onto the scene because this was a co-main event on DAZN. I think Corey might have put the 135-pound division kind of on notice a little bit. I really do. Like, he looked phenomenal. I mean, he was out there having fun. He was smooth. He dropped the guy. He beat the guy up. Like, and this guy was a game opponent, and Corey handled him. And I mean, it was just impressive to watch how easily he won that fight, especially after we got to watch him on the Jake Paul versus Mike Perry undercard. Mm-hmm. And that was a very close fight. A fight that he had a draw previously. They fought again. Corey finally won a unanimous decision over 8 rounds. But
it earned him a ticket to potentially go to that Netflix show out of Dallas, where he was supposed to fight on that show.
The Mike Tyson-Jake Paul card.
Mike Tyson-Jake Paul show. Unfortunately, he had an injury, and we talked about that on the interview. If you haven't yet to see that, check it out, episode 181 in the catalog. It's there, us and Corey Marksman, last episode when we were chatting with him before the fights. So kudos to Corey. Congratulations on a great, hard-fought win. It's good to see his ascension continue, especially just being such local talent. This is a hotbed. We talk about it here on the show all the time. Central Florida, Orlando area is a hotbed. Come and bring it from wherever part of the Southeast or across the states you are coming from. Or maybe it's outside of Florida. Maybe you want to talk main event, correct?
Yeah. So before I move on, though, Corey Marksman, they MVP Promotion, which is Most Valuable Promotions, which is Jake Paul's promotion company, they put a post on Instagram, and they were comparing Corey Marksman and Devin Haney's punch stats. Okay, I want to give it to you guys because Devin Haney...
Did he have stats?
Devin barely had any stats. Yeah. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. So total punches thrown... That was my bad. That was definitely my phone. Total punches thrown by Corey Marksman, 536. Punches landed, 180. Rounds fought, 8.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Devin Haney, total punches, 224. Punches landed, 70. Rounds fought, 12. So Corey Marksman, this is what I'm saying why he put these guys on notice was because he's in the 135-pound division, even though Haney's moved up now to 47, to 140, I believe it was. He used to be a 35, and Corey can probably go up too, but the fact that Corey's throwing those kind of punches and is getting mentioned in the same post as Devin Haney. Granted, it was Most Valuable Prospects.
I'm trying to get these sound effects to work. Those are crickets, so they're not working.
That's perfect for Devin Haney.
Oh, absolutely.
The crickets were out there. And this is why I bring it up, too, is because Corey Marksman is a phenomenal boxer, right? Mm-hmm. He's a big-time boxer. He's very good. But he's not a runner. That's why I wanted to bring it up. Corey is a phenomenal boxer, has phenomenal skill. He's not necessarily a brawler, but he's a boxer, puncher, can fight, stays in the pocket, throws a lot of punches, but he's exciting. You can be a boxer and be exciting in boxing, okay? People don't know what I'm saying by that, but a lot of guys used to say Floyd Mayweather was a runner because he boxed and moved a lot, right? No, he was phenomenal. He boxed, he moved, but he also stayed in the pocket and punched. Devin Haney did not do that. We talked about it. Is he talented?
Absolutely.
He's phenomenal talent. But do you want to watch him again?
Absolutely not.
That's it.
I told you why. If I had insomnia, I'd watch it in order to fall asleep. Let's not give that any more airtime. Let's move on briefly to the main event from that Friday. Then we'll move on to Saturday, and then we'll move on and chat with Omari.
Danier Pero, who was supposed to be he's not always he's supposed to be. He's expected to be the next big thing, and he is. I think him and Atumwa.
Yes.
They're mentioning him in the same conversation, which is they're not wrong, and it's still fair. But Pedro had a massive test, B-Money, and he had a massive test in the regards that he got dropped, I believe in the second round, maybe twice got dropped. Big shot from this guy. I think his name is Chuka something Navarro is his name. I want to get it right because Cesar Navarro, guys. Box Lab Promotions, right here at the Carib Royale, they have been putting on phenomenal shows. And I'm bringing it up because the co-main event was Corey Marksman. Phenomenal. Ended in knockout, was a masterclass. The main event was the heavyweights, Danier Pero versus this Navarro guy, Cesar Navarro. It was exciting. The ratings should be awesome because the fights were entertaining. And again, thanks to Box Lab, they're putting on phenomenal shows. They're putting on competitive shows. They're putting on entertaining shows. And we have a guy right here in Orlando, Florida, Corey Marksman, that got the show out on that card on the co-main event. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about another local talent that showed out the very next night. That was one Ryan, the main event Maine, who is also on the program for episode 180. If you watched it and hung in through the whole episode, man, we want to give you a big hug because that audio got jacked up from the start that Ryan got on stage and knocked it over. But you know what, Ryan Maine, you knocked out our audio and you knocked out your opponent. Second round, it was just body shots after body shots. It was a right that set up the left in the body, took out his opponent. Second round knockout for Ryan Maine.
On Saturday on a Pro Box TV card, the main event was Erickson Lubin.
Right.
Phenomenal fight. He won too.
That was a good fight.
But back to Ryan Maine. Ryan Maine came on the show. He was on our inaugural relaunch. And yes, B-Money alluded to it. Our audio got a little jacked up. Wasn't his fault. It was an accident. It knocked over the audio and it kind of scattered everything.
Oh, anyways, let's not talk about it.
B-Money's you're getting triggered right now.
I have PTSD thinking about that. You like that? Did that work?
I wish everybody could hear that because that's hilarious.
They will when they're watching on YouTube. If you're not, you should, and subscribe. Wayne and with Travis Hartman, subscribe to our content on YouTube. If you listen to podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, everything, it's out there on the audio side. So make sure you're taking a look at that. But if you visually want to see our handsome mugs, go ahead and go to YouTube. And of course, you want to see Omari Jones on the program in a little bit.
Cannot wait to have him.
You got to do that. So, Ryan Maine, victorious, great fight. Erickson Lubin, good fight at the end.
Phenomenal fight.
It was a good fight. Well. And the crowd was hot and rambunctious for it. Long show weekend, Trav.
Very long.
We were there for like 6 hours.
It was too long.
Start to finish.
But very competitive fights. There's a lot of big-time people there, a lot of big-time fights.
The biggest action
was the girl fight. Oh, yeah.
Came at the end of the show. Maybe we'll get to that after Omari. But yes, the women's fight. I wish we'll have to pull those names up. We'll talk about that after Omari Jones as well.
They're deserved
because very much deserved. That was fight of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
But congratulations to podcast alumnus Ryan, the main event Maine, who will also be back on program next week to make up for the shortcomings of this program.
Let's just call it a rematch.
It's a rematch against our audio. Yeah, but we came souped up. We're now souped up with anyways. Hopefully. So weekend travel. Let's shift gears to really the main focus here on episode 182 of Wayne and with Travis Hartman, and that is our special guest, and that is one Olympian bronze medalist, Omari Jones. You're gonna have the pleasure here of speaking with him, a little sit down conversation, Q&A. I will step off because I don't want to be distracting for the camera for everyone at home.
All those good looks over there.
We want the focus to be on the powerhouse Olympian who has recently started his professional career a couple fights in. Excited to hear about his conversation about not only the Olympic trail, but also going in and transitioning to the ranks professionally. So we can try maybe tee it up, and then we'll take a pause. I'll step off. We'll get it all set up, and we'll go.
Yeah, Omari signed a professional contract with Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn, who puts fights on DAZN. He's a big-time guy. It was a big-time signing.
Absolutely.
He's 2-0 with 2 knockouts. He's fought at the Crib Royale with his pro debut. I was there, ringside. Phenomenal fight. He fought I believe, 18 or 19 fight veteran, like 14-2 or something was the guy's record.
No slouch.
Omari fought him in his pro debut.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. And then he went out to Atlantic City in April and knocked this guy out in the first or second round. So he's 2-0 with 2 knockouts. Omari also has a book, The Journey of an Olympian. He's got a clothing brand, professional boxer, bronze medalist. And I just found out, too, that he's got a college degree. So this kid he's killing it. And then guess what? There's some really good vibes going around about weighing in with Travis Hartman. You come on the podcast, it's usually good luck. Like, we're undefeated. Both fighters that have come on the podcast now, they're 2-0 with 2 knockouts.
That's right.
And Omari's coming on now, and I don't know if he's got an announcement or not, but I'm going to try to get one out of him when his next fight is, and I hope it's coming up. So I hope that he continues that streak for weighing in with Travis Hartman guests.
Yeah, we'll look forward to it. So we're going to take the pause. It's the video side and even the audio will transition into that interview. So stay tuned for Travis Hartman, a.k.a. Weekend Trav, interviewing one Omari Jones.
Be money. Welcome back to Weighing In with Travis Hartman. We have a special guest today, Omari Jones, Olympic bronze medalist. You probably get tired of hearing all of this, but still, it's Olympic bronze medalist, author, undefeated professional boxer. You also have a college degree, I found out, too. I mean, what don't you have? You're 22 years old. Again, a bronze medalist in the Olympics, now a professional boxer, signed with Matchroom Boxing, which is one of the biggest boxing promotion companies in the world. Yes. The platform is DAZN. You've already had 2 fights. One was right here in the Crib Royale, which is where we record out of, a stadium club inside the Crib Royale. So, welcome to the show, Omari.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Man, I'm happy to have you here. This is really cool for me because I love boxing.
Yeah.
So if I get a boxing guy on here, I'm just like, I love this. I can like talk all day about boxing.
Right.
So, but producer over there said that I couldn't talk that much, so I'm gonna have to be quiet a little bit here. But first off, being amateur since I think you were 8 years old. I was chatting with your dad a little bit. What was the transition like going from amateur to pro? I know that's a pretty generic question. Everybody asks it, but I remember how I went. I was amateur like 14 years, and then I turned pro, and I was like, it was different for me. But when I was fighting amateur, headgear was everywhere. We had headgears in every single tournament. For you guys, it's not in every single tournament, and it wasn't in the Olympics either. So did you find the transition to be very difficult?
Honestly, not really. I mean, like you said, being in the amateur system for a while from 8 to 21. When I was 18, though, that's when I finally started with no headgear because that was my first world championship and international competition. That's where I got being a silver medalist at the world championship.
That was in 2021, right?
Correct. Yep. So from that point on, I was pretty much like no headgear. It's okay, I'm kind of liking this.
Yeah.
And that's why the pros is just such an easy transition. The only thing that's different is pretty much the gloves.
Yeah.
I'll say, the gloves got a little, less protection on them. So, that's pretty much it for me.
One of the biggest things that I remember feeling in the pros, too, because we had headgears in the amateurs, right? So when I turned pro, one of the biggest differences when we got inside of a clinch, I felt the guy's whiskers on my face. And I was like, I'm not used to this. It was weird. But but the biggest transition, was the gloves because, man, you can feel your knuckles in there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people don't realize those gloves. Like, they might be 8-10 ounces, whatever. I think you're above 47, so you were 10 ounces. Pro,
yeah, 8. Right. It depends. But my last couple of fights have been 10 ounces.
Yeah. So it's like 10 ounces in the wrist.
Right.
It's like pretty much knuckle on knuckle. So it's almost like a bare knuckle, essentially. So I was actually here for your pro debut at the Crib Royale. Two things. Great job, obviously. You won that fight. But I was more impressed on your guys' choice of opponent.
Yeah.
I was like, he's making his pro debut. This guy was like 14-2 or something. And I'd seen who he'd fought. He fought like Xander Zayas. He fought a bunch of other guys. And I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, are these guys crazy? But then also in my mind, I'm like, they believe in you,
Right.
and you clearly believe in yourself because you're like, hey, I want to fight this guy.
Yeah, that was definitely part of the game plan when me and my coach and my father sat down and we pretty much told Matchroom like how we want to move. They believed that I didn't need to start out with a 4-rounder either because, we jumped straight to 6 with my experience from the Olympics and the level that I have competed at for so many years. We were just like, like you said, let's do it.
I mean, that's awesome. They believe in you. I think that at the end of the day, as a pro boxer yourself, you should want to know that you can beat anybody, right?
Absolutely.
But I think you have a promoter and a coach and a manager to like protect you from yourself sometimes too. Like,
Right.
hey, Omari, maybe this guy's a little too tough, but they believed in you, obviously. So, I mean, you rolled the dice, but really did you? Because it worked out pretty good.
Absolutely.
And then you went and fought over at the Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, which is kind of cool. I fought there too as a pro.
Yeah.
That place is insane.
Right.
Like historic. I mean, Evander Holyfield, all those guys have fought in the convention center there at the
Floyd.
Boardwalk Hall.
Floyd versus Gotti.
All of them, man.
Yeah.
Mickey, all like it's a pretty historic venue. You got to be there your second pro fight.
Yeah, it was definitely something special. I mean, to be on the main card, my second fight, Eddie Hearn was basically telling me like by the time you step out there, it'll be 8,000 to 9,000 people coming to see you watching. He just wanted to make sure like,
You knew
he
that.
just he wanted to make sure I knew that, but he also wanted to make sure like those eyes was on me. And just to, spotlight me in that moment, to be on the main card,
Yeah.
my second fight on the Boots card. So it was something special. For sure.
So saying that, Boots is the 147-pound world champion.
Right.
Right. And are you campaigning at welterweight?
It just depends on where I fall at.
Because in welterweight amateurs and welterweight and pros is just a little bit of a different weight class, right?
Slightly. Like
Yeah, not many
I fought at 156, so that was light middleweight.
Oh, so you were like middleweight. Okay.
Yeah, so I think 154 is super welterweight.
Yep.
And 147 welterweight. So it just, like I said, it just depends on where I fall at. But we're just waiting for our call, and we'll go wherever we need to go.
So seeing guys like that, you're getting a fight on the undercard of a world champion like that, and not even just the undercard, like the television portion. Like you're there.
Yeah,
like
you're
that's,
right.
I mean, your second pro fight. Like I don't think people realize how big that is, though. Like most people don't realize that, but I know that from where I came from as well. Coming up, like you're already on TV in your first and second pro fights. You were on TV, your pro debut as well on DAZN there too. So like that was pretty cool. What I liked about your pro debut too was your get up and your gear. Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
Like that was pretty cool.
Right.
What so you're an Orlando kid, I get it.
Absolutely.
So are you a Magic fan then or what?
I'm definitely a Magic fan, and I definitely felt like I needed to pay homage to my city. So I got with my, my boy Shaq and the designer and stuff like that to make sure that, I pay homage and it come out how it's supposed to. And everybody loved it, man.
Oh man, it was
Everybody
nice.
loved it.
It was nice. And what's kind of cool too is the Carib Royale and the Stadium Club. The Stadium Club just partnered with the Orlando Magic. They have like watch parties here now too. So you made your pro debut here, and they just partnered with the Orlando Magic too. It's kind of cool, man.
Right.
So let's back up though. We just talked about your full pro career so far. Your young pro career, yes.
Yeah.
But you won a bronze medal in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
How amazing was that, brother? Because you were the only male to win a medal.
Yeah,
for men.
The U.S. in general.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the men or women.
Right.
That's phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
How did that feel being over there with those eyes? I saw some of your Instagram too, man. You had Biden in a couple of them. You had LeBron James in a couple.
Yeah.
Like, how was just like walk me through the first steps of flying to Paris, getting off, knowing that you're getting ready to fight for the United States of America Olympic team.
Yeah, so I can kind of take you back to I had to qualify in Italy on my second time as an amateur, because my first time at the Pan American Games, I came up short, so I had to go back to the drawing board. And on my second turn is where I placed top 4 out of 72 people in my weight class. So, like I said, the Olympic process is not tough. It's like 1 in a million to be one. So I finally qualified, and I get to Paris. We have a training camp, like a 4-week training camp in Germany, like an acclimation camp.
Yep.
So we had that there.
Do you remember what part of Germany?
Not really sure, but it was like kind of like the country part.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you just ducked off from everything.
There's a place I brought it up because I trained there, and it's called Max Schmeling Camp, and it was like a campus, but it was just for boxing. It was like a college campus. It was just for boxing. It was like by the river, and like it was out in the middle of nowhere though.
We might be talking about
but it was pretty cool. It was somewhere near Berlin. I don't remember exactly where it was at, but it was called Max Schmeling Camp, and it was really cool. There's a bunch of big time boxers there.
For sure.
But go for it. So, yeah, I did a training camp for 4 weeks there.
4 weeks there, and then I went ahead and we took the train over to Paris. It was like a 2-hour train ride. So we get off the train, we catch the bus to the village, we check in, and while I'm just roaming the village, it's like its own town, you know. So I'm seeing Sha'Carri Richardson, you know, Simone Biles, Noah Lau, just these track athletes. And then the opening ceremony comes, and I see like cameras start coming out, everybody screaming and making noise. Before you know it, I turn my head. LeBron James walking in for the opening ceremony. Kevin Durant, everybody, and So when we got on the boat, you know, I had to sneak in my pictures with Stephen Curry and you know the rest of those guys.
That's cool, man.
But that was just the beginning of the thing of the Olympics, and I had to go put on performances in order to medal. So
I remember, I think I told you this maybe on Instagram too, but I haven't been a big Olympic boxing fan for a little while, actually. I haven't watched the Olympics because they weren't that good, I didn't think. You were the only Olympic fights that I watched. Wow. Your fights. I'm not joking because I didn't even, and this is my fault too. I'm a really big boxing fan, but I hadn't really paid attention to amateur boxing that much lately. Right. And I was turned on to it by Craig Duncan, actually, guy, you know, who was in the camp with you for a little bit too. Oh, yeah. But it's like, OMARI, like from Orlando? I'm like, why do I not know this guy? I've lived here for like 10 years. Yeah. And I'm like, I need to sharpen my game up a little bit. So I started watching your fights, and I thought you won the bronze medal round. I thought you won that fight that you lost. Genuinely, I really did. And after I watched that fight, I literally looked over to a couple guys that I'm with. I'm like, he's going to make a good pro. I thought you had a very good pro style. And I was just like, he's going to make a good pro. I thought you won that fight. And I know that guy was very experienced too, right? I think he won multiple world championships in the amateurs too. Yeah,
he was a world champion, yep.
So I knew that. And sometimes those guys know how to play the game too, that computer scoring game. And I know Cubans are beautiful at it too. Absolutely. But that fight, I actually thought you won.
Thank you.
I really did. And I'm not saying that because you're here. I said it then. I thought it was a very close fight. All those fights at that level, right, are going to be pretty close because everybody's good.
Right.
Like they made it there. They didn't just win their trials. They had to qualify, like you said. When I was coming up, you won the Olympic trials for the United States. You went to Olympics.
Right.
You were on the team.
It's much harder.
It's crazy hard
these
now.
days.
Actually, it's been like that for a little while. But I was speaking from back in 2004.
Yeah.
That's when I made it to the quarterfinals of the Olympic trials and I lost there. But if you won that, you're on the team. You
I think that's when they actually started that process.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Which is that. So the fact that you represented our country is pretty awesome because you had to go through a lot. You didn't just beat the best in the United States.
Yeah.
You have to go on, and people don't know that. And they made it's super complicated to explain, but like people don't realize that. Like and you got only a certain amount of time to win one of those qualifiers too, because then the Olympics are around the corner. So you don't have, the time runs out, right? How many chances do you have?
3 chances.
3 chances. And it's insane. I know a guy, Cam Thompson, he used to be he was like the team captain of the Olympics in like 20 something. He was a super heavyweight,
I know
right?
you're talking about, yeah.
Didn't make it to the Olympics. He won. He was number 1 in the United States for like years, right?
Yeah.
He couldn't qualify.
Yeah,
he didn't make it to the Olympics.
Yeah,
he literally won everything.
Yeah.
But he couldn't make it to the Olympics.
Right.
That just shows you like how it's that you not only did you win a bronze though, the fact that you even qualified. Yeah. That was special in itself, right?
It's hard.
Whether you would have won the bronze or not, you qualified.
Thank you.
Dude, I'm just in awe of you right now. Like I can't help it, but like it's because I know like how hard that had to have been. I never experienced it, but like that's insane.
Thank you.
How did you feel going into that bronze medal round? How were the nerves?
I felt great. No nerves. I mean, I knew when I was there, and I knew I got that far. God guided me, you know, to that point. I knew He wouldn't leave me, so I was confident. And especially after the first round, I was just kind of confused going back to my corner, like what you mean I didn't get the first round, you know? And then I was just kind of like, I kind of know like where this going, but like I still didn't let that deter me. And like I said, I was confident. I was ready to bring home the gold for the U.S. And if I go back, like I said, I think I fought a perfect fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought you did too.
Yeah.
I did, minus we didn't win, but
Yeah.
still, you did phenomenal. So that's the next question, though. So 2024 Paris, you get a bronze medal. What is that conversation like with you and your father and your team about what's your next step? Because did you plan on, so when you were going, you're young, you're 22, 21, going into that, what was your plans after that? Did you even think about turning pro as you were going into the Olympics?
I thought about it for sure because I was getting calls right after my fight. I met with Eddie Hearn the following day, but it was definitely some thoughts of staying for LA 28. I mean, a home game, but I just wanted to make sure that it made sense. I did pretty much everything in the amateurs from World Championship, three international gold medals. So I did a lot.
Just phenomenal.
Yeah, I did a lot in the amateur. So to kind of do that again and go through the system, I know it'll be real tough on me mentally like it already was before and physically because it's just a lot of tournaments and things that you had to get through. And I was ready to come home and, be with my team and, we could get back on the road again.
So that's what this is the one thing I wish USA Boxing would kind of figure out and change too, is that you're not allowed to have your coach.
Right.
On the team.
Right.
And I get it, but also I don't get it because you're telling me that you have a guy like a Floyd Mayweather or somebody like that. I mean, obviously Floyd fought in the Olympics too, but how do you tell them they can't have their coach?
Right.
That's just weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how they figured that out, but it's just weird to me.
Yeah.
How did you adjust?
That was a conversation that I kind of had with them, to be in touch with my team and my coach and things like that. But it really wasn't no adjustments for me. I know I went to Colorado Springs. I trained. It was great training there in the altitude. I pushed myself to the limit, and I stayed in touch with my coach back home with little stuff and things that I should do while I'm out there. So, like I said, we were always in touch. My father on the phone every day while I was away overseas. So I always had my team close, pretty much talking with them every day. So it didn't really feel like they was gone. They was in my ear constantly on things that I should be doing.
That's good. I mean, in USA Boxing, did you feel any pushback from them for having your coaches kind of talking to you through all of that, doing all of that? Did you feel like they wanted you to not communicate with your coaches, or how was that?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they could have felt that way, but I mean,
they didn't say anything. They didn't verbalize it. Good.
No, because it's at the end of the day, that's the people that I came with and started with. Exactly. So I'm not gonna change what got me here. So I always stuck to that.
So Jason Galarza is your head coach, School of Hard Knocks.
Right.
I know that was pretty cool. I know that Craig was able to come over there and kind of support. That was kind of cool to see, have a friendly face, just to know that, right? And I know Craig quite a bit. I've known him for a while. Just having that atmosphere of him, he's just I don't know. He's a good time.
Oh yeah.
I feel like he keeps the vibes right. He keeps everything motivated. He's so positive. And you know what I love about Craig, and something you mentioned too, your belief in God. And I know a lot of people like to shy away from this, but I don't on the podcast. Every person I've ever had on here, including Terrence Crawford, including all of the big time guys, I ask them. And I nobody yet has told me they didn't believe. And I don't know what I would do if they told me that. But what is your belief? You believe in God. Do you believe, what's your foundation?
Absolutely. Yeah. I definitely believe in God. He's the reason why I'm here. I always say that, all glory to him. And in my book, it talks about a lot in that, and I have a prayer in the book, and so I always just make sure to keep him first, because I know he brought me here, he can take it away. I read my Bible every night, so it's that's kind of been my routine, anywhere and everywhere I go, Paris, Italy, God always been with me, and I know that regardless.
So speaking of that, I brought it up at the very beginning. You're a bronze medalist, you're a professional boxer, you're an author.
Yeah.
You wrote a book. It's called Journey to be an Olympian. Yeah. What is the name of it?
The Journey of an Olympian.
Journey of an Olympian.
Yes.
I'm not going to try to BS my way through this and lie. I haven't read it. So don't hate me.
You got the book?
I don't have the book yet.
Well, we got you after the show.
And so but I think that it also sets me up better, because don't give everything away, obviously, because you want people to go buy the book. Go buy this book. I know. Is it on Amazon? Is it on your? So go on Amazon and buy this book, because it's going to be phenomenal. But you talk about a little bit in there. There's a prayer that you said is in the book. Do you use this prayer for all your fights, or what is the meaning of this prayer for you?
The meaning of this prayer, to me, it just to like give inspiration and just hoping that this book gives inspiration and helps, someone, like I gave a book to a kid from someone and, the kid like cried, you know what I mean? So it's like just hearing stuff like that. It's just like, all right, like my book is like really means something. And I did the book. I wrote it with my mentors. One helped me co-write it and one helped with the editing. So like I said, I did it with the people that I came with. And yeah, it's a good book. It's a good read. And I'm not just saying that.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to lie, but I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal that I get the book. I will read it. I'll talk about it on the podcast later on, in the next episodes. Plus, we'll have to have you back as well. Yeah. You have to come back on the show for sure. I'm gonna put you on the spot on live, and we have a live there. Like, Omari, can you come back on this podcast again? Sure. Okay, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. So you wrote a book. What was the meaning? What did you always want to write a book, or were you approached and like, hey, dude, you just got a bronze medal. What a cool story. Can you write a book about it? Like, how did that go?
Yeah, so I've always been a writer since like 12, 13 years old. Like when I was that age, I wrote a play for my church. And I always did like
find stuff out you never knew.
Yeah, I always did like writing. So after the Olympics, I graduated from Valencia and I just had some free time. So I was on a lot of traveling and I wrote most of the book on like the plane, like from going to this plane to that place. And I was just working and and then I brought it to my mentors. They edited and the pictures and things like that. So, and then boom, I was like, we got a book.
Man, so I'm looking at you in awe right now. So you probably can't tell the way I'm looking at him, but I am. And I got so much grief when I had Terrence Crawford on the podcast because I love giving people the credit that they're due.
Right.
And a lot of people thought I was gushing over Terrence Crawford. And they're going to think I'm gushing over you right now because I'm going to, and it's deserved. Like, you wrote a book in your free time. Yeah. Like, who writes a book in their free time? Like, it was so casual how you said it. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal. And I think what's cool about that is I love it when people buck the trend of what they think boxers are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Most people, I remember growing up, and first of all, I don't look like a boxer. I never did. I'm a little skinny white kid. Like, nobody thought I was a boxer. Yeah. But they think that boxers are supposed to be dumb. And boxers are supposed to be just, those big meat heads and all that stuff, right?
Absolutely.
That's what I love about what you're doing is because you're not. You have a college degree. You wrote a freaking book and you're 22. Like, how cool is that? And you won a bronze medal. Yeah. You're a professional boxer. You also have your own merch. And I did read a little bit about you. You've had this for a minute. Did you start like a merch business back in the day? In high school? Or what's the name of that? Yeah,
so I started my merchandise, my brand, I should say, in high school, probably like sophomore year. It's called it started off with I Got a Dollar in a Dream, but now we call it Dollar in a Dream now. And it was just something for me I always wanted a clothing brand too coming up. And it was just something for me to make money in high school. Like I knew I couldn't get a job and stuff like that because I knew that would take away from my boxing career. So I just did that for, a little change. And then everybody just started saying it. Then they got a ring. And then I just started elevating my, the material and things like that. So it's a full-on brand now. A Dollar and a Dream. Yes. And where can you buy that merch at? OmariBangerJones.com. OmariBangerJones.com. So that leads me to the next thing too. I never really got a nickname growing up. I never had a nickname, and I always wanted it to kind of come naturally. And I never found one of my coaches called me Heartless Hartman. Yeah. But it didn't stick, and I didn't like it. But so for you, how did you come about with your nickname? How did Banger become your nickname? Yeah. So when I was about 10 years old, 8 or 10 years old, I had my first sparring at my gym because I did the transition from karate to boxing at a young age because, me and my brothers, we did karate. We all got black belts and stuff like that. So I saw my friends changing into, boxing one day. And then I just kept seeing them day by day. And I'm like, let me just go ahead and change. So I ended up having my first sparring And thanks to my karate background, it just ended up being easy. Like I was a natural. And the guys that was boxing 2-3 years before me, I just came in natural, just
You're banging them out.
So I was beating those guys, and and then my instructor, my coach, he was like, "We're gonna call you Banger," because everybody back in the day we called it power name. So like, what's your power name?
Yeah.
Hawk. All right, your name Diesel, Wolverine. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it was kind of like a thing at my gym. Like, you got a power name. Okay, like you one of those ones. Like you one of the top guys at the gym. So yeah.
So you say that, and two of those names that you said, I know of those people.
Yeah.
Diesel and Hawk.
So
did you
came
come up in
together.
the same?
Yeah. The
Okay.
same gym dynamic.
Yeah, I got you. That's okay. That's making sense. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so
But
that
yeah,
was
I know
my-
Diesel and Hawk. They're both professional boxers themselves.
Right. Yeah, that was my after school program. So like I said, I had karate. So they would pick me up from school, go straight to the gym, do my homework, change into karate. Then after karate, have a little snack, change straight into boxing. And that's just how my day-to-day went.
And isn't that crazy how like you were originally set to do karate and you end up gravitating towards boxing? Like it's just wild to me. Like how for me, well, like my boxing was never in my family at all.
Yeah.
Nobody ever fought in my family. I went to a YMCA. They had boxing there. I was like infatuated with it. I was like, I'm 6 years old. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like, what the heck? That's why I believe in God. I believe that all of us were put here to fulfill something. And by the sounds of it, same thing for you. Is like you can try all these things, but something is going to end up clicking, and that's for a reason. That's because God is like, hey, this is for you, and it's just cool to kind of see you fulfilling that dream. Essentially,
Absolutely.
amateur, professional, bronze medal, undefeated pro, Olympian, book. I mean everything. So, when you decided to turn pro, you're chatting it over with your parents or your dad and your managers and your coaches and all of that. Was there any boxer growing up that you really gravitated towards, pro boxer, that you ever looked up to and was just like, man, this guy's got it all. Like, I like this guy's style, or just anything by any professional boxer that you really looked up towards?
Yeah, I can name a few. Roy Jones, Floyd, and Ali. Those are guys that I definitely mimic my style. I'll say I watched Muhammad Ali for, like, at the beginning of my boxing career, like, just studying, locked in on Ali. And, so
That's a
from
good
that
one.
point on, like, my footwork, my movement, like, I just could see it, and then I just do it. Like, that's just kind of the person I am and the fighter I was.
That's good, man. You have that natural talent to do that. And some people, not all people can do that. Like I said, boxing's hard. I don't think people realize how hard boxing is.
Yeah.
To win a bronze medal alone and to turn pro, it puts you in the 0.01% of the population in the world. We're talking 7 or so billion people.
Yeah.
Not very many people have a bronze medal, have a medal at all,
Right.
let alone turn pro, be an author. I mean, like, I have to keep saying it because to me, like, it's just, dude, I think it's cool. And I've told Brandon, B Money over here, I've told him so many times, like, I want to have people on the podcast that are interesting to talk to, that I have a super interest in. And your story is very interesting. And like, I just love digging into it. And that's why, like, I want to have you back so bad, because I know that we're just going to hit the surface of it today for sure. But I also want to try to get something out of you too.
What's that?
So you're 2-0. You don't have anything scheduled, but I know there's some rumors about June and the Richardson Hitchens card. Are you fighting on that card?
No, I'm not.
So do you have any fights scheduled that you can announce? Or are you can't tell? If you can't tell me, fine. I'm a little sad, but do you have something in the works for your next fight?
For sure. And I give you a week's time. I'll say like 8 weeks, 7-8 weeks.
You'll fight in 7 or 8 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. That's not bad. So you do have a target of where and when, all of that. Okay, that's good. And it's obviously going to be a matchroom card because Eddie Hearn obviously is the promoter. Do you foresee yourself fighting more in Orlando too? And that's thanks to Box Lab. Me and B Money, dude, I've been on Box Lab's train for years. When they first did shows here, we came to those shows.
Yeah.
It's not what it is now, obviously, but they got better so fast. And honestly, big time cards come to Orlando now. They used to come to Miami.
Yes.
They used to come to other places. They're coming to Orlando at the Carib Royale. Jake Paul fought here.
Right.
Like, I mean, that tells you like how popular it is. Like, But the Box Lab guys, Omari and Eric, they're really killing it, man. And I really genuinely hope that you do fight here more. Is that kind of on your list to fight here more as well?
I definitely want to fight here more. Hopefully, I get one here at the end of the year, and hopefully I'm a headliner.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I went to the pro debut, I mean, you had a big crowd, obviously. You're an Orlando kid. And what's really cool is, like, you're born and raised right here in Orlando, right? Yeah. Like, you just grew up here. That's pretty cool. It was pretty cool, though, because when your dad got here, he got here a little early, and I got to chat with him a little bit, and he was telling me just so much about you. He told me about the karate stuff, and he was just like, yeah. And he's like, and then he's like, sometimes I might be a little bit late, and Omari just was gravitating towards the boxing, and he would start doing boxing workouts. Then he started sparring and started, like, beating up kids, like, the other boxing kids. Not in a bad way, you know what I mean? But beating him up in the ring. But he also told me something about when you're in Atlantic City, there's a gym up there called No Limit Boxing. Mm-hmm. And, like, dude, I think I have my hand on the pulse pretty good in the boxing world, honestly. Yeah. But I had no idea what this place is. But how cool is that place?
No, it was pretty.
Can you explain a little bit about what they do there?
Yeah, so the No Limits Academy is a foundation and a gym that basically just trains kids for free and just runs their system off of donations and just, you know, whatever people give them. They feed kids, a lot of stuff like that. And they invited me there before my fight a couple of days in Atlantic City. It was a full day. I taught some boxing. I spoke with them, and you can tell that the kids really, like, gravitated towards what I was saying, because, you know, it's not, you know, you don't get an Olympian and things like that.
Not just Olympian. You're not just an Olympian, too. Yeah. You're an Olympian bronze medalist, yes. All right? Like, Olympian is phenomenal, yes. But you're also a bronze medalist. So
right. Yeah, so
don't leave that out.
I got you. They don't get that much, and they were just telling me that and just so excited to have me there. And they just, like I said, they gravitated towards me, giving me high fives, hugs.
That's cool.
It's like, you know what I mean? You can tell they really took that in.
Yeah. I think that's really cool that it's a state, nobody pays to go there, right? You said it's all pretty much, that's so cool.
Ran off donations and just giving the inner city kids something to go after.
So how do you feel about, I've said this to your father as well, and I just posted this on my Facebook page, and I was just like, boxing should be in every single school.
Yeah.
Do you agree or disagree with that?
I agree. Somewhat.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel like it's a point to where, like, you know, you don't want the kids, you know, sparring each other in school and then starting fights. But for us, like, if they do it properly and a self-defense mechanism, I definitely 100% agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right, too. I think that if you have a proper coach and you have proper discipline, you have all that stuff, where I think boxers, for the most part, for me especially, I know that I'm not angry outside the boxing ring. Like, I feel like I got it all out in the ring, right? Like, when I'm out, like, somebody honestly would have to come up to me and punch me in the face, and then I would stop and be like, hey, what's going on, man? Like, what'd you hit me for? Like, that's how, like, reserved I am, because I feel like I get it out in the, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that that's how it's got to be, because I've been boxing since I was 6, 170 amateur fights, 46 pro fights. And, like, I don't get angry outside the ring.
Yeah, I feel that for sure.
But, I mean, if somebody punched me, maybe different. I say that if they punched me, I'd stop back. Might have a quick reaction and punch them back. Probably. That's natural, probably.
I've
but
seen otherwise.
I have, a couple times. At Carib Royale, like, some guy, like, did some stuff. They didn't punch me, but, like, I'd jump back for sure. So, yeah, maybe. But point is, I think that if kids are taught the proper way, and I had a very good coach. My father, so that's another cool point, too. My father was my coach from the amateurs to the pro. He was in my corner of my first amateur fight. He was in my corner of my last pro fight.
Nice.
So it's been kind of cool having him there, too. But my coach, who my dad learned from, taught us proper. It's like, he's like, we do it here. You don't do it outside here.
Right.
And my dad definitely emphasized that, too, because he was like, listen, Travis, one, I don't want you getting in fights. It's just stupid. Don't get in fights. But he's like, two, you're going to hurt yourself, too. Yeah. He's like, you know how to punch. He's like, you're punching knuckle on bone. He goes, okay, you're going to beat the guy up. But guess what? You have a broken hand. You're out 6 weeks, 8 weeks. He's like, it's stupid. Then you can't box. So when he told that to me, he's like, you can't box for 6 to 8 weeks. I'm like, yep, I'm not getting in a fight because I love to box. Right. Like, I'm a kid, and boxing's year round. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no seasons really in boxing, right? So, like, I'm like, I loved it because I'm like, I'm a kid. Let's go every weekend. Let's fight in a tournament.
Right.
But so that's what we're getting back to was, I do think boxing should and could be in schools if taught properly, right? Oh, yeah. But that's everything. Football, if football's taught improper, kids are hurting each other on the football field too,
Yeah.
and they teach football in every single school.
Right.
Why can't we have boxing?
Feel that.
Like kids don't necessarily have to spar either. If you
Yeah.
don't want to compete, I tell everybody so I train people. I have my own private gym as well out in Lake Nona, and every kid that comes through there, I tell everybody, I think everybody should spar at least once.
Yeah.
Once. That's it. If you don't like it, fine. But I think it would make the world a less violent place. If people got to spar, it would humble them.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of people came in the gym and sparred 1 round, 3 minutes, and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm done." So it's like definitely it's a different respect for what they have for fighters.
I think so, man. And that, like I said, I really think if there was more, I think it would be if there was boxing in schools, there'd be less bullies, there'd be less violence. I truly believe that. Obviously, you're gonna have some outliers. There's gonna be some kids that probably do it wrong, right? But I think a majority of people will be affected in such a good way. And you're a good example of that. I mean, like, you're not a troublemaking kid.
Yeah.
You got a bronze medal. You got a degree from Valencia. So also, what about that degree? What is your degree? What was your degree in at Valencia?
My degree was my associate's degree, and I was just associate's degree,
Yeah.
my 2-year degree.
Yeah.
And I was.
What was the
going
focus
for
of the
business?
Okay, business. Got you.
So a lot of numbers and a lot of math and stuff that I had to do to, get through that. So, yeah.
Do you have any inkling at all to go back and get a bachelor's? And I only say that you're a pro boxer, I know that. But do you have somewhere in your mind where you do want to go back eventually, or you're like, nah, I'm cool, I'm good with that associate's degree. I know what I want to do in life, and I don't need to come back. Or what's your thought process on that?
Yeah, possibly. I can see myself. It's a bachelor's degree to get out there, a master's. So I mean, if I get the itch to do it again, I wouldn't close the door fully. I know I'm busy with boxing and stuff like that, but I can definitely go back if I want to.
So you said that you love to write. Obviously, you wrote a book too. My degree actually when I went to college was in journalism, and I worked for a newspaper. Obviously, now we do the podcast too. But do you have a future in possibly writing about boxing, possibly talking about boxing as well? Could you see yourself doing commentating later on too, or what? Because you're an intelligent guy, obviously. You know how to set goals and accomplish them. You wrote a book. He wrote a book. Like, what? I can't stop saying, like, he wrote a book. And he's probably going to write more books, I'm sure.
I'm 43 years old and I haven't even penned a page.
He wrote a book, B-Money, and he's a boxer. But do you have any other maybe thoughts about writing another book? Or
For sure. I'm in the process of writing one right now.
I knew it. I literally knew it. Like, why would he not, right? Because he's just talented already. Like, he's going to write a book. Let's write another book. So what's the thought process of this second book? You don't have to give anything away, but I mean, like, you're just, what made you want to write it?
I'm in a new chapter right now in my life. So I wanted to talk about that chapter and what I had to go through for that, you know what I mean? To kind of get to this point and what I'm going through currently,
I love that. So something that I noticed too, because I did look you up a little bit because I wanted to like bone up a little bit. B-Money always gives me so much crap because when I have guys on the podcast, I don't write anything out. I don't prep at all.
Okay.
I go and I freestyle it.
Yeah.
I did it with Terrence Crawford. I did it with other world champions, Chris Billum Smith, all these guys that I've had on the podcast, Giovanni Marquez, all these guys. I don't write anything down. I'm like, I want to be natural.
Yeah.
And I want to be genuine. And I am. Every question I've asked you, I'm genuine because I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
And I like that. So, but I did find out your birthday is November 7th. And I only bring it up because my daughter's birthday is November 8th. So you're like really close to my daughter's birthday. So
Scorpio.
you both are the same. Exactly right. So like, that's where I like that. So you're 22. You're going to be 23. Bronze medalist. Author. Undefeated pro boxer. Possibly writing a second book. Doesn't want to tell me what it is, but that's fine. That's fair. Won't tell me when his next fight is either, but he says there's something in the works.
7 or 8 weeks.
So that's fair. I get it. I know. I get it. There's a business behind all of this stuff. I get it. But also, he wrote a book. What's the name of your book again, and where can you buy it?
The Journey of an Olympian, and you can buy it on Amazon or just go to my website, OmariBangerJones.com.
We'll put his
OmariBangerJones.com.
website as well as the link to Amazon on YouTube, everything like that. So if anyone wants to pick it up, easy way to go. Go to the website, go to the Amazon.
Sweet, I love it. Omari, I want to try to wrap this up. I'm getting like the wrap it up, Travis. I can talk forever. We could have you on here forever too, for sure. But I want to let everybody know that I for sure want you to come back on the podcast. We do podcasts here once a week at the Stadium Club inside the Crib Royale. We have a live audience. You guys can always come here and watch live too. It's kind of cool. We actually have, 10 or so people in here watching this one. I think it's pretty cool. We have a live people here. We're also recording it live too. We'll post this later. We post it on Spotify, YouTube. Anywhere you can think of is where this thing goes out to. It goes out everywhere. So again, Omari, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Is there any message that you want to put out there to anybody, your fans, people, kids, whatever? Anything that you would like to leave the Weighing In with Travis Harmon listeners and possibly your fans with?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for supporting me and being with me on my journey. I just want to leave you with keep believing in yourself, remain consistent on your journey. Don't ever give up. If a kid from Orlando can come and chase his dreams and go out and go to the Olympics, I definitely believe you can too. Put God first, and everything else will follow. And like I said, thank y'all again, and thank you for having me.
Of course, man. It's a pleasure. Like I said, you gotta come back on the show. You gave us a verbal commitment. Everybody saw it. I'm not gonna pressure you to that, but I do appreciate coming on the show, man, for sure. I appreciate everything that you've done. I appreciate your blood, sweat, and tears that you've given to the boxing world, because at the end of the day, I do feel like it's a small fraternity of people that have been in the boxing world, and I do appreciate what you represent for boxing, and anybody that represents boxing in a very positive, God-fearing manner like you do. I love that, and I want to give you as much of a platform as I can, because I do think that your story and you need to be heard, because I think it's awesome. I love what you're doing. Best of wishes. And I want to put this out there too, that the first two boxers we had on our show, the very first show, he goes in his next fight, he knocks the guy out in the second round. Then the next guy we had on our show goes and knocks his guy out in the seventh round. So, and they're both undefeated.
Yeah.
They're 11-0 now and 8-0. You're 2-0. I'm just saying, it's good to come on the podcast and then go fight. So I just want to put that out there.
We've had world champs. I think we have a future one sitting right here.
Yeah,
so
I love that.
Go.
Thank you.
Brother, I appreciate you coming on, man, again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. B Money, get you over there. Guys, thanks for tuning in. We hope to have Omari back as soon as possible. But God bless Omari, and thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
So that was Omari Jones, bronze medalist, Olympian for the U.S. boxing team from Paris 2024. We got a book. And
The Journey of an
Olympian.
Olympian.
Of Olympian. So very proud and to have him on the show and to support him in any function that we can. So it was awesome having him. Great interview, by the way, Weekend Trav. I will say you did a great job. But we want to wrap up here episode 182, okay? I know you're not here to listen to me. You're not here to even listen to this guy. But we're going to wrap it up. So Omari Jones, great. Looking forward to seeing what's next. He alluded to something maybe 7-8+ weeks coming up. We haven't heard the official announcement on that.
He did shoot me down on my June one. I thought he was going to fight on the Richard Hitchens versus Kambosos fight. Hitchens is fighting Kambosos in June, and I was like, I think he's going to fight on that card, but he's not.
So you've heard it here first. He's not fighting on that. Anyways, so Weekend Trav, I did want to send well wishes to the Box Father, one Brian Price of Price Boxing, also TDT, who we love Craig Duncan here, and he's very well entwined with him at TDT Boxing and Fitness Club there in Longwood, Florida.
I talked about Craig on the podcast.
Absolutely.
How could you not?
And
It's
obviously
Craig
he's connected with Omari Jones too.
He's in the book. He's got a
book.
picture in the book because he was in Paris.
So that being said, we wanted to send well wishes to one Brian Price, nursing a couple broken ribs that he sustained.
He goes to a boxing match and he's not even in the ring, but he comes out injured.
Yes. Yeah. It's we won't go into the details.
I was ringside for that injury, though.
Yeah, so was I. We won't go into the details, but what I will say is Tesla 1, Brian Price's ribs 0.
Papa Price, I hope you heal up, brother.
Yeah. But it was interesting. It was an interesting foray in the parking lot after that Erickson Lubin fight. Anyways, Weekend Trav. So that was episode 182. Let's toss it to you for final thoughts.
Listen, I keep saying this, but I'm going to continue saying this. People that come on the podcast, I love having interesting people on the podcast that I'm genuinely interested in. And so far, we've had those guys on the podcast. Ryan Main, he's a super interesting figure as well. So is Corey, Two Smooth Marksman. We'll have to have him on the show more so he can talk more because I had to talk a lot on that one. But OMARI Jones, what a phenomenal story that guy is. 22 years old. I'm going to repeat it. You've heard it on the show already. He's an author.
Mm-hmm.
He's an Olympic bronze medalist.
Mm-hmm.
He's a professional boxer.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a college degree.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 22 years old. Clothing line.
Yep.
And now also a veteran and recipients on weighing in with Travis Hartman.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Listen, I mean, let's be fair. Even when you go into our old catalog of things, because this is kind of like the rebranding the past few weeks. We've 3 straight weeks having great talent and great quality human beings on this show. But even the past, I mean, we had the likes of Chris Billum-Smith. You mentioned
World
that.
champion.
Great guy. You know, we met him in Dallas and became friends with him instantaneously. Obviously, we've had Terrence Crawford. That was a big one. Mike Perry.
Awesome people.
You know,
man.
we've had awesome people. J-Hub.
J-Hub. That's right. We've had J-Hub.
J-Hub's been on the podcast.
You brought that up. Really.
What?
Uh-huh.
You know, there's a few I can think of locally. Craig Duncan, obviously.
Giovanni Marquez, Jorge Carlos,
Giovanni
guys from Missouri.
Estella.
Giovanni Estella. We've had a lot of quality people.
I still want, you know, what I'd like to do is get, you know, Alex Nicholson on. I want to get some local other.
He's going to be fighting bare knuckles.
Absolutely.
So not bare knuckle, dirty boxing.
Dirty
Mike
boxing.
Perry's dirty boxing.
So
let's have him
let's
on.
work on that.
I'm down. I'm down for
because
that.
Good buddy of mine. I go way back with him.
Also, I spoke with Craig Duncan, and Craig is like, Travis, I think that Christy Martin would be down to come on the show. Women's trailblazer of boxing.
Absolutely.
I got some small connections with her too.
Yeah.
But Craig's got some big ones. But also possibly having her on the show. But you know who we are having on the show for sure? Again, next Sunday, Ryan Main Event Main. With a rematch with the new, hey, we got a new
you can't see
audio board, Ryan
This
Main.
is different.
You can't beat this one.
No, because number one, we moved it over here. So it's not over here and you can't run into it, but it's over here. And there's a lot of colors and buttons and all. What? Listen to this.
Devin Haney's boxing match.
And also, at this point, who's listening? What about the chat? Okay, so that's that. You know, Weekend Trav, it's been real and it's been fun. I don't know if it's been real fun. I'm just kidding. It's been great.
That's mean.
So anything else? That was your final thought?
I think that was my final thought. I'm blessed to be doing this podcast.
Yep.
What's your final thoughts, B-Money?
I think when you look at life, I view life like a dartboard, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You have a lot of numbers. You have a lot of goals. It depends on what game you're playing. If you're playing cricket, if you're playing something else, you're trying to, you know, to target certain elements. And the point of life is no matter what, throw the darts. Throw the darts. You might not hit exactly where you're aiming, but you got to try. You got to go towards it. You got to seek your goals. You got to try. Effort. 100% effort.
I got 2 things. Sorry, I did my final thoughts. This
No,
is my
that's
second
fine.
final thoughts.
That's fine.
2 things that
Addendums.
what you just said, which is
Appendix.
beautiful. I love what you just
Appendices.
said because it reminded me of a Michael Jordan quote. You miss every shot you don't take.
Yes.
So
However,
go for
I miss a lot of dart shots I do take. I will say I do.
So I also have another one from,
Not good at
I
the
don't
bullseye.
know. I don't know who this exactly is from. Ed Lattimore posted this, I believe, and he might have said it. I don't know who to give credit to, but I know that I got it from him. I don't know where he got it from, but Ed Lattimore says, the difficulty of a task is irrelevant if it's vital to your success. And I love that because we should do hard things a lot. Okay.
That's
and
what she
sometimes she did. But
Sorry.
sometimes
I know
people
you're trying to be serious. I'm
I was trying to
sorry.
be so philosophical
sorry.
and you jumped in with a that's what she said. But it's very philosophical, but it is. The difficulty of a task is irrelevant if it's vital to your success.
Right.
And I like that because sometimes people find a task to be very difficult and very hard and they shy away from it.
Yeah.
Don't.
No.
Because it goes back to such a cliche, but it's such a simple thing. If it were easy, everybody would do it. It's hard for a reason. Okay? If it were easy, everybody would do it. Not everybody can become an Olympian. Not everybody can win a medal in the Olympics. Not everybody can be a professional boxer. Not everybody can write a book. And those 4 things I just mentioned, OMARI Jones did all of those.
Yeah.
And he's 22 years old.
And not everybody could run a boxing podcast. The #1 beards, bourbon, and boxing podcast shot in Orlando, Florida. Well, wait, we're not in a boxing gym anymore. But in the Stadium Club of the Caribe Royale in Orlando, Florida.
In the
world. Not everyone can do that, and that's you and me, buddy.
Let's get it, B Money.
That over there is the talent, Weekend Trav.
That there is B Money, aka producer, the man, the myth, the legend, my buddy.
My buddy. Remember that song? My buddy. And we go.
Nobody's listening right now.
God bless.
God bless.